Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 490 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. This is recorded live on Sunday, June 19th, 2022. Keep in mind that Sunday terminology when we get towards the end of the show. We have some news. Nothing terrible, but just some temporary changes we've got to make. So Sunday may not be a fixture of us for the first time in almost 500 episodes. Kind of scary. I am Chris. Joining me today, I have one half of my usual band of misfits. Anthony Bachman's work schedule has evolved, and we'll touch on that at the end of the show, so he can't make it today. But don't worry, Mr. Willie D. Nelson is here still.
Oh, I am here. You're causing an existential crisis. I am here.
He's here, he's there, he's everywhere. That was a callback to Ted Lasso.
Is that a show, right?
Yeah.
I've heard the name.
It's on Apple TV Plus.
Oh, no wonder I don't give a shit about it.
It's actually delightful, and I love the show, and I can't wait for season 3 to come back.
Is, but fuck you, you're on Apple. Well, I'm guessing it's not their fault they're on Apple. Apple's probably the one that said, we'll give you the money.
I got a year of it free for
fault.
buying an Apple device, so I was going to use it.
I ought to slap the shit out of you for buying an Apple device.
Willie, I've had an iPad for longer, almost as long as we've done this show.
All right, iPads, I guess I'm all right.
I got a MacBook Air plugged in right here, though, too.
For what?
What?
You heard me.
No, I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
For what?
In all honesty, it's because I use it for all the I use it for podcast editing and video editing, because the M1 chip in it is actually quicker and more efficient than using my podcasting machine to do the editing. It's much quicker.
Fair enough.
And it can go anywhere.
Underwater?
Well, I mean, within reason. But you did catch me there. So it's actually, I sort of redid my office space a little bit, most of which doesn't show up on camera right now. But everything that was on the left side of my desk here, I've kind of reorganized. I've put my mixer up on a riser so it's up off the ground and I can store stuff underneath it. And then I got a 27-inch 4K display there that tablet or laptop is plugged into.
At 24 inches, does 4K...
No, 27.
Oh, well, at 27 inches even.
It's the very bottom end of what's deemed good for it, but I wanted it for space, basically, so I could put multiple windows on screen for things. And the nice thing is with that MacBook Air, all I have to do is there's a USB-C port on the back of that monitor, and there's a USB-C port on the side of the Mac. All I do is plug it in, it starts charging my laptop, and throws my screen up on the 4K display.
USB-C. Then how come Apple can't use USB Type-C for charging their fucking phones? What's with this Lightning connection?
Actually, so this isn't really news of the week kind of story, but we can talk about it as part of this.
Oh yeah,
the European Union is about to force that, supposedly, because they have some kind of clause for like common connections and stuff like that for selling goods there. So they've pretty much made it so that, and there are a couple congressmen here in the States and at least one senator that's expressed an interest of writing similar legislation so that we don't have a problem of, oh, I have an iPhone, I go over to Willie's house and forget my charger. Well, shit, I have no way to charge it now, unless he has a wireless charger, obviously, because he's only got USB-C devices, which then gets us to Apple's next step, which I'm still not sure how they're going to do, is supposedly they want to get rid of the charging port altogether off their phones and just go wireless only.
No, it's not there. You can't.
There's that.
The speed of charging is not there.
And there's also the fact that both Google and Apple have made this big show of, hey, we want to have phones as connected devices in cars, so you can have Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and things like that, where you plug your phone in and it throws up the display on the head unit and does like maps and stuff easily. Most cars, even new cars right now, don't do wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. So if you get rid of the port on the bottom of your iPhone, you've basically said if you don't have a car that's newer than a 2022 model, you don't get CarPlay anymore.
I have no idea what that is. I'm not going to lie.
So I use Android Auto, which is the equivalent. And it's really nice because you can, I bought an adapter to make it wirelessly in my car. But the way it's designed is you literally plug your phone into the head unit, it starts charging it, and then it throws up on screen what is called Android Auto, which is a, for lack of a better term, a reskinned variant of Android that only allows you to access certain apps, but it can let you put your GPS up on screen. It can play your music, answer your calls. Exactly. So like I have it
Yeah, I'll
using
enjoy that.
Pocket Casts in the background to play my podcasts. I can do Hey G Word and tell it to do things. It's basically, if I say it on here right now, it's going to trigger devices in my house and trigger devices in listeners' houses. So I didn't want to do it.
Yeah, hit that G spot, baby.
Oh,
yeah.
So I actually
Plug
use
it in that car. Yeah.
I use I use Android Auto all the time because I bring up Waze so that I can see, hey, where's there any police incidents? Where's there any car accidents? Things I need to bypass around. So I use it a ton, and it works pretty well for me. And I bought a little dongle from a company called AA Wireless that did an Indiegogo that allows me to have wireless Android Auto. So I don't have to plug my phone in. There's a little dongle plugged into the center unit that then connects via Wi-Fi to my phone. So I can charge my phone more quickly, things like that. But what Apple is talking about doing if they get rid of this port is you have no choice to either buy a dongle for your car to be an adapter, which they may or may not officially make, or not run it. And the interesting thing here is Google's kind of done their own variant of, okay, we understand some people don't have Android Auto capable vehicles, so they've kind of made God, what is it they call it now? It's like Google Assistant for cars or something like that. That basically, when it pairs with your car's Bluetooth, it can know it's in a car mode and basically does its own view of Android Auto on your phone screen. So you could have mini Android Auto and the simplified interface that's going to keep you from pressing too many buttons and things like that up on screen to have just basic GPS and music and things like that. I don't think they do that for CarPlay. Now, they might, and I could be wrong. I haven't had an iOS phone in a decade, probably. I've been an Android phone user for a long time. I love my tablet. And
yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother. And I actually really do like this MacBook Air because it lasts forever and it can do anything I throw at it. So I'm honestly, and I'll talk about this and what I'm into a little bit, I'm honestly considering getting a Mac Mini here to be my editing device of choice for all my audio and video editing and tools and things like that because it is much more efficient than my old desktop here.
I don't know how I feel about the government forcing Apple to do that with the
right
connection.
So
I don't know how I feel about that.
That's a different level of complexity there as to level of comfort and things like that. You know, the real thing is I honestly think they should have been doing it, and there's a whole racket that's involved with it because since they own the lightning cable and the proprietary connector, they can charge a fee for everyone that makes a cable and make a little extra money off of it because they need to interface with their devices.
Especially since they don't come with one anymore.
Right, and it gets even more interesting too because some of their devices are USB-C, for instance, like the iPad Pro. I've got a 2-year-old iPad Pro. It's USB-C. It's not Lightning.
What?
Yeah, it uses USB-C. So I can hook that thing up to my monitor right here via that USB-C cable and throw things up on screen or charge it on a USB-C cable. Their laptops all charged on USB-C until they brought the MagSafe cable back, but you can still charge over USB-C if you want to. They don't have Lightning ports on them. But all of their peripherals they sell, like their their keyboards and their mice, all have Lightning cables. So you get a cable that's USB-A on one side and Lightning on the other to charge them.
We all know what the fuck they're doing. They know what they're doing.
Well, they're making a little extra coin. And so that's part of the thought here is that Apple's trying to push off this decision until they just decide to give up using the port altogether. So then they don't have to comply. They're like, well, we don't have a charging port on our devices anymore.
Apple will suck every cent out of you.
You're not wrong.
If they can. That's what their
all
whole
these companies
business
will.
model is, though. That's all they do, though. Like, no, you can't repair your thing. You have to bring it to an Apple store for our geniuses to do it.
Well, at least they partner with Best Buy for that now, too, so it's not as problematic.
There's
a whole
better.
But there's a whole separate set of legislation that I think we've talked about on this show, which is like right to repair laws. Like, you should be allowed to try and fix your own stuff. It's why the Steam Deck was so interesting in that perspective. Remember, we talked about on this show, you could go on iFixit.com and buy just about every piece of the Steam Deck to repair your device if you broke it because it was readily available.
And then I asked, could you build your own?
Not
from
quite,
those parts?
But
yeah, I remember.
So that was some of the stuff that's interesting there. And repairability is kind of a big deal. And you start seeing more and more problems with it as we go on. Is There's a YouTuber by the name of Rich Rebuilds is his channel. He's done a bunch of stuff with rebuilding flooded Teslas, building weird custom cars and stuff like that. And he was a big proponent of Tesla early on. And like he has a couple of flood salvage Teslas that he repaired. And he always said the problem was getting parts, because you can call Tesla and be like, hey, I need such and such part. And they'd be like, well, that's nice. We don't sell parts directly to people. Meanwhile, he's got a Corvette Z06, a Z06 Corvette or something like that. And he goes, well, if I want a part, I call Chevy, the local dealership, and they say, okay, the part will be here in a week.
Is no one making aftermarket parts?
There are some aftermarket parts, but for the most part, if you damage your Tesla, your choices are take it to Tesla or try and fix it yourself with salvage parts that you can get from a salvage yard. Or Rich opened has a company rather called The Electrified Garage, which I think they have 3 locations of now, which are staffed by former Tesla employees that are basically designed to fix and repair people's Teslas that are out of warranty and outside of Tesla's sphere, and arguably are cheaper.
All right, so I'm just gonna say this because it needs to be said. Elon Musk, man, I know a lot of people, praise you and whatnot, but no one thinks you're funny. So stop.
The ironic thing to all of this is he bought Twitter because he thought it was a gag or is trying to, and now he's going to get stuck with it as the stock prices have plummeted. Is that why? In part because he didn't like the criticism he got from people on Twitter.
Yeah,
that's my personal opinion.
That
at least
suck his goddamn dick, though. There's so many people.
So I will fully admit that while I was not a fanboy, I was an enthusiast of a lot of the ventures he'd had for a long time. Until you start seeing this will be ready in 2 weeks, and 3 years later, there's still no full self-driving mode. And then the promises of you buy your car in 2018, it's got all the stuff in it required for full self-driving, and now it's, we're going to have to refresh hardware again in these cars. So none of the cars that you bought that were advertised as being full self-driving capable. He's got a nightmare.
Super pissed on that.
He's got a nightmare coming on his hands in regards to that, because he made all sorts of promises. And if you're not aware, Tesla doesn't have a PR and marketing department. He got rid of them as a cost-cutting measure, and PR and marketing is Elon Musk's Twitter. So that's where you get yourself into a little bit of trouble there, is that the CEO promises a lot of things that may or may not be possible. And yeah, so I think Tesla's a fascinating brand. I think their prices have skyrocketed to something ridiculous. I had one pre-ordered that I let it go because I was not happy with everything that was going on.
Don't blame you. And you can't even plug your phone into it either.
Right. So, yeah, I don't know. Elon Musk's a fascinating person. He had some interesting ideas, but the problem is they need to put other people to be the face of those ideas, I think.
I do want to ask him, what did you use to fix your hair?
Hair plugs.
I do want to ask. Don't even lie. We all know. We all seen the pictures. We all know. You didn't thin out your hair and just say as a joke when you were like in your early 20s. Don't you fucking lie to me.
I mean, you're not wrong.
We all seen it.
Yeah. I mean, I was this close to buying a Tesla. I've talked about it with Steven and SP on other shows before. I had the price locked in last year, and it still was exceedingly high. I locked in at $53,000. The same car now would be something like $65,000 because of how much the price has gone up since I locked in a year ago. I could have gotten it around January, February timeframe, and I said no. And that's not necessarily mostly because of my concerns with Tesla. I still had some concerns there. It was more because the potential legislation that the United States government was going to pass for EV incentives didn't happen. So I bought my Tesla on the promise that, hey, they're going to figure out these EV incentives so that Tesla applies again and I can save a little bit of money. That didn't happen. So I kind of looked at it and went, nah, I'm not going to drop $55,000 on a car and then drop more money on getting charging stuff and not get the $7,000 back that was potentially in play based off of legislation. So maybe that was a dumb decision. Had I held on to it, or had I kept it ordered, the prices have gone up like $12,000. I could have flipped it. But I had a perfectly serviceable car. I bought a car right before the pandemic started. Then I pivoted to work from home. So I have a 2020 Outback that has 12,000 miles on it because I ain't done shit for 2 years. Exactly. Electric vehicles fascinate me. There was a whole plan. If I actually bought this vehicle, that was going to be me, how I'd chronicle what lessons I was learning. It was going to be kind of a combination blog, podcast, YouTube kind of thing. But since I didn't do it, all those plans went in the toilet. Because what's the point in doing it if you?
The stars were bright that night, my friend.
This was all Willie was like. Oh, I'm not going to let Chris do this.
I'm the cause of it. I'm the government.
I mean, in all seriousness, I would be lying if I said I was not still intrigued by electric vehicles. And a lot of that stuff, I've gone and test driven a couple of them that are non-Tesla branded that you can get locally and things like that. But I have a problem that the state in which I live, if you just are hanging around town or within range of your house, you're fine. But the only options for fast charging outside of owning a Tesla are non-existent, basically. So if you own a Tesla, you can drive through the state and be able to hit DC fast chargers and make it through. If you own a different kind of EV, you've got to plan for much slower charging because there's not other DC fast charging opportunities or installations, rather, in the state of West Virginia.
Now, this is a little bit of a tangent. This isn't a story about fully electrical cars, but hybrids.
Sure.
I saw one of the most arrogant pieces of shit in front of me one day. I could not believe it. I was like, you're just sucking your own dick at this point, man. I'm assuming they're arrogant because it was a hybrid car. I forget what it was. This was years ago.
Probably
and they had a vanity plate. The vanity plate said 57 mpg. And I was like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Well, I mean, there's a whole episode of South Park based off that. Do you remember the one when they all got Priuses and it was all smug and everyone was just sniffing their own farts?
Yes, yeah. I know. They put it in wine glasses. I remember.
Yes. I mean, I wasn't trying to make a fart joke because I know you don't like those. I was just doing a callback to what they had referenced. But
I know. I was like, jeez.
And that's sort of one of the criticisms you hear of some folks in the EV community also is that sense of superiority and smugness. I don't think that's near as prevalent as gets portrayed. I've spent a lot of time in different forums and subreddits talking to a lot of EV owners and enthusiasts, and while there are always a few that do have that smugness, for the most part, it's just regular people that want to try something different. And I like to think that's what I am, is a regular person who just wants to try something different.
Well, I mean, Chris, we should be smug for being tall, but we're not. Because you know the law of the giants, don't you?
No, please enlighten me. I don't actually.
The law of the giants. You may never ask if someone needs help reaching something, but you must help if someone does ask you for help for reaching something. The law of the giants.
It's fair. I mean, and it kind of jives with my worldview, which is I've never asked someone to reach something for me unless it's something that literally you have to have a ladder to get in a store because you're not allowed to do that. Yes. Obviously, that's the exception to the norm.
Whoop. Got it.
Go gadget arms. I mean,
I told you my favorite joke. It doesn't work on you, but it's high five.
Oh, yes.
That's my favorite joke.
No, but I mean, that kind of jives with the experiences I've had in life, which is, hey, people constantly asking me, the tall person, to reach something off a shelf for them, and I don't really think much of it, but other than, okay, sure, I'm not going to be that guy. It's like, no, fuck you.
You got legs, jump.
Why don't you climb that shelf there?
I mean, I've done that.
I mean, I've climbed a shelf before, too, but
I probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah. But I did anyway.
That's the way. That's just how he rolls, there, kids. That's just how he rolls.
I'm a punk rebel, and don't you forget it, baby.
That's
how I ride.
I can't forget anything, Willie. You won't let me.
What?
What?
I forget everything all the time.
I know. I have to remember for both of us.
Oh, that's why I make you do. Okay. I won't let you forget because I forget everything. What episode are we on?
490. We are 10 away from 500 and should probably figure out what we want to do for 500 at some point in time.
Oh, we were going to do something?
I mean, we can at least commemorate it somehow, I would think. I don't know.
All nude podcast. Tune in.
Only Willie on camera because the rest of us won't be.
I mean, I'm not going to move the camera. I'm lazy. It's going to be exactly what it is. But I am nude right now. Kind of. I'm wearing a shirt.
Yeah, but Willie, that's like all above pec level too. So all we would just see is a little bit of tasteful chest hair.
Tasteful.
Tasteful. That's just a tasteful exhibition.
Hey, I've gotten some in my mouth before. It's not that tasty.
Oh.
I shed, man. Sometimes hairs end up in your mouth, man. I also don't like having a mustache because those hairs like to go in your mouth every fucking time. I don't know how people like mustaches. This is why I like it. This is as far as I let it go. After it gets there, I'm like, nah, fuck, I'm shaving this shit. I fucking hate it.
No, the thing that I hate, and this is bearded man problem, is right after you shave or you trim things down, and like it inevitably just all kicks up in your nose. So like your nose just itches and you blow your nose. You're like, oh my God.
Oh no, I make sure to hold my breath or only exhale. Exhale. I try to exhale so that way it blows it away.
I will say though, I am more mustachioed than one Willie Nelson though. When you compare us on screen, there is a bit more of a mustache to my beard than you.
Oh, you probably have a better mustache hair thing, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what the terminology would be.
I did have
I'm bad.
A Hogan stash for a day at one point in time. There are pictures somewhere. I'd have to go find them.
I had a tri-stash for a little, or not a tri-stash, a tri-tee.
Oh my.
I did 2 stripes going down like this, so it was just this, and this. And so it was like a Hogan stash with like an extended soul patch going down.
Yeah, I only had that for a day, and it was for a gag, and then I had to go clean shaven basically because there was no salvaging once you've done that.
I mean, yeah, there is. Yeah, you can dye it blonde, platinum blonde.
I have a fuzzy face. My beard was back relatively quickly. My beard was also a lot less gray then. I've noticed there's a lot more gray in my beard now.
Yeah, myself. Old. Yeah, I think it was on this side. There's like right here. I did have this girl. She asked me, "Did you dye your beard?" Thinking I like put a design in it for like this. Was like, nope, this is just natural. I'm naturally this cool baby.
Oh yeah.
And she just, I think she had a disappointed look on her face afterwards. This was like a couple years ago, too. Like 2-3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago.
It's a sign of getting old is when my beard is no longer mostly the same color. Now it's turning gray and white.
I'm sorry, Chris. Do you know what one of my biggest fears is? And it's going to happen.
Losing your beard?
Well, we mean losing. Where would it go?
Losing the ability to grow your beard.
Is that a thing?
I don't know. I mean, male pattern baldness is a thing, so I assume you can lose your beard.
But no, that's not it either. I'm more worried about losing my sight than that, but that's not what I'm talking about. No, this is a guaranteed because it's already starting. I'm scared of turning into a polar bear.
Oh yeah. For those on audio, Willie pulled his shirt down a little bit just to point out that he's a fuzzy dude for some tasteful exhibition.
Yeah. Having that. Did you ever? I'm sure you've seen 40 Crazy Nights? Yeah, 40 Crazy Nights, right? Adam Sandler animated movie.
Nights.
8. Yep. You're right. Yep.
You're thinking 40 days and 40 nights and combining it with.
Yeah, it happens. But yeah. 8 Crazy Nights. Yeah. What was his? What was the little character's name? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
But yeah. We took over. He was a polar bear. That's a technical foul. I remember that song.
Hell, I don't even remember that.
Yeah, it was a good, heartfelt movie, man.
I've heard it's pretty good. I just don't remember it at all. I think I saw it like once, and it's been ages ago.
Does Adam Sandler deserve the hate he gets?
No, I don't think so.
Because I mean, I think I kind of watch Grown Ups. I need to rewatch because I don't think I was really paying attention during it. I need to rewatch that one and the sequel. I need to go on Netflix because isn't there that one that the cobblestone dude or whatever? Isn't that on there?
I don't know. Maybe
it's like Cobble something. I can't remember what it is. He has a couple movies on Netflix because he made a deal with them. I remember that. And I will think, was it Happy Madison Productions for giving me one of my favorite movies of all time. And it didn't have Adam Sandler.
If you say Little Nicky, I'm going to punch you.
Oh, I love Little Nicky, but that's not the one I'm talking about. I'm from the South. The Deep South. I fucking love that movie. Fuck you.
It's bad. It's so bad.
I fucking love that movie.
It's so bad.
It's great.
No,
what are you
it's
talking
terrible. It's terrible.
Get in the flask. Fucking love it. I use a joke all the time I got from that movie, and no one ever knows where it's from.
That's because three people have seen it and liked it.
Hey, that DVD was the first time you could ever see the trailer for Lord of the Rings as an Easter egg.
Who cares?
I do because I like trivia.
It's so boring, the Lord of the Rings.
All right. But the joke I was referring to is I use all the time as, well, I'm no George Clooney. Because he goes, I'm no George Clooney. Yeah, I love it. I use that joke all the time. Yeah. I'm no George Clooney. Yeah, I love that joke.
We know.
I know you know because you see it on the thing. But for the audio listeners, they don't know. I mean, I think I'm all right looking. I don't think I'm ugly, but I mean, hey, at least I got a sexy, sexy voice. Isn't that right, Chris?
But
anyway,
sure?
My favorite Happy Madison movie would be Blood. God, you got me so off track. Grandma's Boy. You don't even know what Grandma's Boy is, do you?
I vaguely remember it.
Oh my God, that movie is so good. So good. If you haven't seen Grandma's Boy, you need to rectify that. But before you rectify that, you do need to watch The Fifth Element.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think it matters if I mention it or don't mention it because I don't think you're ever going to watch it.
I mean, now it's just kind of me being annoying and
a dick.
Sort of.
I said what I said.
I'll take it.
So shall I continue on with my radio announcer voice? Or not radio, let's say arena. No, that's not more arena. That's more like this. That's shock DJ. God damn it, I don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't either.
Hey, Chris, do you know what you do when you don't know what to do?
Yeah, I do this.
Live from the ATGN studios on the internet, it's the news of the week.
Welcome to the news of the week. It's that part of the show where we run down what's in our minds some of the most interesting geeky and or nerdy news to have popped up here in the past week or so and share it with you guys who are watching live or listening at a later date. I kind of teased last week what my news was going to be, so I'll kind of lead with that. Say it's kind of meh, was kind of my takeaway from it. But hey, last week on Sunday, right after the show, was the Microsoft, or I guess it was the Xbox Bethesda game. Oh God, what did they call it? I screwed it up already.
I think that's good enough.
It was the Xbox and Bethesda Games Showcase that they had. It was like 1 p.m. last Sunday, and I watched all of it live, and I did live tweet for a little bit, and then decided I was going to stop, and then was just hanging out with some friends on Discord chatting about it. And what the whole concept was, is they said, hey, these are the games coming to Xbox in the next 12 months that they were showing off. They did not show off anything that is slated to release outside that 12-month window. So I think there was some concern from some people like, why didn't I see Game X? Well, it doesn't come out in the next 12 months, so it wasn't discussed as part of the...
I mean, I kind of like that, actually.
I do too, but at the same time, I think it also kind of exposed the problem they have, which is, and I think it's a problem that's going around with all of the companies right now, is there's no super major titles that have official release dates that a bunch of people are getting hyped for. God of War keeps sliding right. Metroid Prime, for instance, keeps sliding right. We know there's Pokemon games coming to the Switch, but they could slide. But there's a lot of slippage when it comes to these AAA game titles. These massive games. So there was some interesting stuff that came out of the Xbox and Bethesda Games Showcase. We're going to kind of power through because they did 90 minutes worth of stuff, and I don't think we have 90 minutes to cover all of it.
Yeah. On the point you did, though, with the 12-month thing.
Yes.
Because I said I like it because there's one time, I think during the E3, that Bethesda actually, they announced Fallout 4, and it was coming out in 3 months or less than 3 months. It was something like that. It was like extremely quick time. And like people were like, we didn't even know this was coming out. Now it's already coming? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Shit like that. That's why I kind of like that. The idea behind it. Go ahead.
So we'll just kind of step through, and we won't go through every game, or we won't go in depth on them, but at least talk about them. They opened up things talking about Redfall, which was a Xbox and Bethesda game that's coming from Arcane. It is a co-op open world horror game set in Massachusetts. They gave us a bunch of gameplay showing the 4 playable characters in this vampire shooting Left 4 Dead-esque type of game. Looked pretty cool. One thing that Microsoft and Bethesda made a point of saying is everything that we were seeing in these trailers for the most part was in-game gameplay footage, not like trailers and specifically rendered stuff. So this was a lot of footage of what things presumably should look like. It looked like it could be a lot of fun co-op wise. I mean, it'll be on Game Pass, so I'll obviously try it, but I like cooperative games, so I'm intrigued to want to play it. And I did see a follow-up news story where there is actually a campaign to this. They did say that if you are playing campaign via co-op, only the person that hosts its campaign will advance or something like that. So it's similar to what they've done with the Borderlands games lately.
Yeah, I've seen games that do that. I think Far Cry does that too.
I think so too. They didn't
really
give an
tried the
official
multiplayer on
release
that, though.
date for Redfall other than 2023. So somewhere between January and June of 2023, this game will come out. It looks pretty cool. I was interesting to me. I'm not going to turn down a co-op 4-player co-op game.
I might.
Well, I don't know if it's available. That's the other thing too, is I don't know how many of these are available on other consoles that they announced.
Yeah, I guess that is a problem, isn't it?
So I honestly don't know if it's available on PlayStation 4/5 or not.
Oh, it's okay. I'm not even really interested in that.
Next up, they showed a trailer and said available day 1 on Game Pass, but no release date for Hollow Knight Silksong. It looked really cool if you're a fan of the Hollow Knight series.
Yeah, it looked good. I started playing Hollow Knight a while, like what, 2 months? Was it 2 months ago? 2.5 months. I streamed it on Twitch a little bit, and
okay.
I kind of fell off. I mean, it's a Metroidvania.
Mm-hmm. I haven't played much of it. I know the first one's available on Game Pass, so I should probably give it a try, but I haven't yet. Next game they showed off was called High on Life. This is from Justin Roiland's game studio called Squanch Games. And as soon as you heard the voiceover work, you're like, this is just as Justin Roiland, because the gun sounds like Morty. But the concept behind this is it looks really strange, and I'm going to give it a try because I like strange stuff, and hey, it'll be on Game Pass, so why not? But these guns talk and have character traits and like give you shit when you're doing things in game. I don't know. It looks interesting and weird.
No,
to
I
me.
like that.
Yeah,
I like when weapons that you have like like some of them, like you get like a special weapon, like I think in Skyrim you had like a sword that talked to you or something. It was like possessed or something. And Cyberpunk wasn't there like a mission where you got a gun that
there's a gun called Skippy that talks to you in Cyberpunk.
Yeah, I like that shit. So yeah, give me a whole game of that. I fucking love it.
This game looks really trippy and weird. It's the kind of thing you would expect from Justin Roiland, in all honesty.
And who's making it?
It is his development studio called Squanch Games.
And I'm bringing that for a reason.
Because Squanchy's on my rack
behind us. I was hoping you're going to get it.
If you get a chance to look at it, it looks really weird and really trippy. And it does come out in 2022, they said. They didn't say when in 2022, so somewhere between today and the end of the calendar year, we'll see it come out.
Oh, yeah. Justin Roiland is not a stranger to video games.
No.
Not at all. Yeah, I have one of his VR games, Smith and Smitherson Accounting Plus.
And they did a Rick and Morty VR game that's supposedly pretty good, too.
I have not tried. I should, because it's all on the PlayStation.
Now, Riot Games was one of the studios that was bought up by Microsoft. If you are a person who likes to play any of the Riot games like League of Legends, Legends of Runeterra, Teamfight Tactics, Valorant, things like that, those are all coming to Game Pass. And they're giving away supposedly hundreds of dollars of free stuff for subscribers, such as all League of Legends champions, all Valorant agents, and even more. And this looks like it's mostly PC and mobile that these games exist on, so you have to have the Game Pass subscription that gives you the PC games also, but you'll get access to all of this stuff from League of Legends. I don't play League of Legends games, but there were people that were really excited because they've been well immersed in this in this world. They're like, holy crap, I get all this stuff now too. This is great. So cool. Doesn't impact me, but cool. I'm glad people are excited. They dropped a trailer for a Plague Tale Requiem. So that's the sequel to a Plague Tale. Looked pretty interesting. I need to play the first one. It's up on Game Pass still, I know.
Yeah, I've heard the name many times, but I have no idea what it plays like.
Yeah, it'll be on Xbox Game Pass day one, they said, and it is expected to launch this year. So somewhere in the next 6 months, it should be out. Ooh. Because it's a Microsoft event, you should expect there's going to be a trailer and gameplay footage for the latest Forza game. Forza Motorsport was detailed.
I'm sure it looks wonderfully
looks gorgeous.
Beautiful.
I don't play sim racers like that. That's not my jam, but it looks gorgeous. And they were talking about how they're using the ray tracing to like detail the chrome in the engine bays of these cars. And they made a point of saying everything we show off in this trailer is in-game footage using our weather engine, and talking about how their weather engine impacts the track. So if it's cold and rainy, the track's going to handle differently. Your tires are going to perform differently. They got really into the weeds of how their weather engine was dynamic and was going to radically impact the environment and the gameplay as you went through. And I went, man, if I was a racing sim fan, this would be awesome to me. As someone who looks at it and goes, when I play even arcade racers, it's jam the gas pedal until I hit a corner and release the gas pedal. This is not a game for me.
Jesus Christ, Chris.
I'm not a good racer.
I was going to have a suggestion for you, but if that's how you do things, Jesus, man.
What's your suggestion, Willie?
Wait, do you play Mario Kart? Do you not do the drift?
I do drifts in Mario Kart. I haven't played Mario Kart in a while,
Not for what
though.
you just said. You just said you hit gas, you hit a wall, then you turn.
Well, I learned how to do drifts in Mario Kart.
Jesus Christ, I was going to suggest Wreckfest, because that's like halfway arcade and sim.
Okay.
That's my sweet spot. I don't like sim like you. I hate sim racers.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, this is like perfect, just sim enough.
Right.
Where it's like, yeah, it's Wreckfest. It's awesome. I think it might be on Game Pass.
It might be. There's so much stuff on there, I can't even.
It's on the PlayStation Game Pass for wherever you want to call it. It's probably the best thing that people know what it is.
Okay. Well, Forza Motorsport will be coming in 2023. The trailer is gorgeous if you get a chance to watch it. They put everything up in 4K after the stream. There were a lot of people who were cranky during the stream because like, oh, this is only in 1080p and there's YouTube compression artifacts. I'm like, well, what do you want them to do? They're going to literally drop everything in 4K after the fact. Live streaming to thousands of people in 4K, you're going to have just as many problems with compression and stuff like that. And we still have the problem that YouTube compresses the crap out of some of these things too. So it's not going to look as good as it would look on your TV.
Chris.
Yes.
Bitch is gonna bitch.
I mean, you're not wrong there. Next up, they announced 40th anniversary of Microsoft Flight Simulator. They have a bunch of new airplanes and there's stuff that'll come out for the game.
Wait, what anniversary?
40th. Flight Simulator is a PC game for a long time.
Wait, I'm not 40.
I know.
It couldn't have been on before I was born.
Yeah.
Microsoft wasn't even a thing, was it?
I think, well, according to this, it says in big bold letters, 40th anniversary on the trailer and on here. And we can find some more details after the fact to confirm that, but I'm pretty sure that Microsoft's not going to screw up their own trailer where they say 40th anniversary.
I have so many questions.
So they'll be putting a bunch of new planes and environments and stuff like that out. But they did announce on Sunday when this dropped that there was free DLC coming out to Flight Simulator where you can now fly the Pelican from Halo.
I don't even know what the fucking Pelican was.
That's the troop transport.
That doesn't help me. What was the purple thing? The Banshee? That's all I got.
Yeah, that was the Banshee. This is the plane that you land when you first play the first Halo that lands on the Halo that's carrying you and a bunch of troops. It does like vertical takeoff and landing and stuff like that. It's a cool little plane. I haven't had a chance to play it yet because I don't have Flight Sim on my Xbox, but I could stream it.
I'm sorry, I gotta look this up.
Okay, while Willie's looking that up, they did announce next Overwatch 2. And all the Blizzard stuff was jammed in here. Overwatch 2 will be released in October. The Junker Queen will be a new playable character. It will be free to play when it launches, and early access begins in October. And I do believe beta signups have already begun now if you want to sign up. I'm surprised Willie is booing as he is the commissioner of the Overwatch Wrestling League.
Yeah, the actual original OWL. before they had an Overwatch League. I'm sorry, you're the ones that came up with Overwatch. It's one fucking word. You don't have initials. 4. You can't make an acronym for 2 letters in one word. You can't do it.
That's fair. But they did announce
Scientific stuff I'll give you. Like DNA, I'll give you, because that word's like 30 goddamn
That's
letters
fair.
long. I'll give you that one. But Overwatch. It's one word. There's not even hyphen. It's just one word.
They did announce for Overwatch 2, it will be free to play, like I mentioned. There will also be cross-play between PC, Xbox, and a PlayStation, from what I can understand. And I believe also Switch, but now I can't remember if Switch was included in that, but I think Overwatch 2 was coming to the Switch, but I don't remember. Someone can look that up and fact check me after the fact.
Yeah, I don't care about a bunch of rapists.
That's fair. We'll blow through this one real quick. There's a new real-time strategy game coming to PC called Ara: History Untold. Looks pretty cool if you like real-time strategy games and you're a PC gamer.
God, I wish I was good at real-time strategy games.
Right. They announced some more stuff for the Elder Scrolls Online. There is the High Isles DLC coming to Xbox and PC in June. Late June 21st. So we're 2 days away as we record this.
They're pretty high.
Yeah, they are. I don't play Elder Scrolls Online, so... Fallout 76, they had already announced the DLC for The Pit, where you go to Pittsburgh, but they showed some more.
That's still going?
Yeah, it's still going. Fallout 76. Suppose it's gotten a lot better. I need to go back and revisit it, I guess.
I don't know. I've seen some videos in that. I like the whole alien thing was kind of okay.
Yeah. They did show off Forza Horizon 5 will be getting Hot Wheels DLC in July, where you get to drive Hot Wheels cars and have Hot Wheels tracks and stuff.
I mean, I appreciate that. I like it. But there is a Hot Wheels game that came out just recently, within a year. I think it was last fall. I think it came out.
I think so. They showed off footage from Ark 2, which is the dinosaur game, if you're familiar with Ark 1. And Vin Diesel's in it, and it's going to premiere in 2023. He's the main character.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really care.
What'd you say, Chris? Okay, Google.
That was my Amazon Voice Services device that replied there and is telling me about a fossil found in China.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't either. So Ark 2 is coming. They showed off some more footage from Scorn. This is like this weird post-apocalyptic game where like all the guns are made out of flesh and stuff like that. Launches in October 22nd. It looks really weird and gross and trippy, and has kind of like Doom-like vibes in the way it's presented. I don't know. I'll give it a try.
A flesh gun. So when you say "eat my balls," it's because you're firing a ball projectile. And by ball, I mean testicle.
Yes, I realize that. There was another game, Flintlock Siege of Dawn. I don't remember much about it, and the article on Polygon just says, looks to be about killing gods coming in 2023. So whatever that is.
So God of War.
Yeah, maybe. Minecraft
Flintlock.
Legends. There's a Minecraft strategy spin-off coming in 2023.
Why?
I have no idea.
Sure. I'm not going to stop you. I don't care.
This one looked kind of fun for just like, I want to sit on my couch and relax. I need to decompress after a long day. It's a game called Lightyear Frontier. And how they describe it...
Lightyear.
Not quite the same, but how they describe it here is a chill farming simulator. Oh yeah, and there are mechs. So basically you have a mech, and it's like a farming simulator mech kind of game. It looks interesting, and it looks like one where it'd be like, hey, this would be a really good game to unwind with, just because it's been a long day.
I wonder if aliens are going to attack, like in that Love, Death, and Robots episode.
I don't know on that.
That'd be cool. I mean, not like, not be like a major threat or anything. Just be like something you got to deal with on the farm with your mechs. Just something.
There was a gameplay trailer for The Last Case of Benedict Fox. It looks like a Metroidvania kind of game, but it's about a detective and a demon coming in 2023. It looked kind of Lovecraftian, Castlevania-y. It looked interesting. It's not really my jam, so I don't know that I'll actually play it. I don't know how to describe this game very well, but there's a game they announced called As Dusk Falls, and it's supposedly a branching story-based game about family secrets coming in late July. You can either play it solo or with up to 8 players, this game.
Okay, so just from the title, it sounds like an art house game. But from that description, it sounds like an Until Dawn type of game.
I'm trying to get a better description of They call it an original interactive drama on their website. Oh my god, I have to log in and say I'm over the age
it
of
sounds like
18.
what was that game? Like a walking sim. It sounded like Edith Finch. I can't remember what the full title of that game was. It kind of sounds like it could be that, just going by the title and the description.
Here's the description they had on their website, and the trailer looked pretty interesting. Just because of spanning different storylines and stuff like that, it'd be fun to do. It's called Every Family Has Secrets. Every Secret Has a Price. As Dusk Falls is an original interactive drama from Interior Night that explores the entangled lives of two families across 30 years. Starting in 1998 with a robbery gone wrong in small-town Arizona, the choices you make have a powerful impact on the characters' lives in this uncompromising story of betrayal, sacrifice, and resilience. Draw the lives and relationships of multiple characters in a decade-spanning story told across 2 intense books. The fact you can play 8 players on it and have it interact that way, I think could be an interesting thing to do like a party Twitch stream with or something like that. Be like, hey, I've got 4 or 5 friends, we're all going to play this together and make decisions on it. I think that could be really cool for it.
Got a question. What was the name of that game again?
As Dusk Falls.
Because I wanted to know if that's coming out on PlayStation.
Let me check the FAQ.
Suck a dick.
I'm pretty sure it was just Xbox.
Yeah, it is. That guy looks familiar. Are they using actual actors' likenesses like in the Quarry and then Until Dawn?
Okay, so this is where it gets interesting, though. And I hadn't delved too much into it. So obviously you'll be able to play it on your device. But they say in their FAQ, did you say I can control the game using my smartphone? It says yes. Players can control their game using their Android or iOS device, provided it uses the same Wi-Fi or local area network as the console or PC. Just install the companion app and give some OS requirements there. So in theory, it could be, hey, we're going to sit in my living room, all 8 of us basically, and similar to like the Jackbox games where you have a website you log into to play along, this is we all have the companion app and we can watch things unfold and make our choices as the different characters and have it reflect what happens in game. There
are games that do that.
I'm sure there are.
I've seen it. I know there's some on PlayStation that are. I think it might be exclusive because you have to download a specific app for it, which is like.
It says here up to 8 players who own the game can cooperatively play through the story. So that would be if you all weren't in one location. Up to 4 players can play together on the same screen by connecting additional controllers. 8 players can play on the same screen using a combination of controllers and smartphones.
Are you controlling 4 different people at the same exact time?
My understanding is each person's assigned a different character that they get to be, and then they have to make dialogue choices, perform quick time encounters, and things like that as it goes through. Not all players will be doing things at the same time.
Okay.
The way
I like it. Yeah, because there is a similar thing like that in the Dark Pictures anthology games that sounds similar to this, like that play like the same basic bone structure.
So
yeah,
here's a better clarification. I probably should have gone to the FAQ first. They say, how does the group and co-op play work? Choosing what characters say and do is the same with the single player experience here, but in co-op play, those choices are counted as votes. The choice with the most votes wins, deciding the outcome from moment to moment. Players can use special overrides when they disagree with the group. If the vote is tied, the game will randomly select the winning choice. And they do also continue and say there is a Twitch streamer mode. You can launch broadcast mode that allows any viewer of your stream to vote on dialogue choices.
That you get to decide on, or that's what they
I don't know decision. Yet. When starting a game allows any viewer of your stream to vote on dialogue choices. Enter the name of your Twitch channel. This only works for channels associated with an existing Twitch account. Once the game begins, the viewers will have the ability to vote an outcome via the stream's chat window. Each choice is shown with a special hashtag or number. Players enter in the number of their choices in the Twitch panel. Your viewer's screen name appears briefly on the screen as votes are added. The choice with the most votes wins. No, so this is... Oh, wait, note, as the streamer, you have the power to override your viewers. You're also required to handle all QuickTime events. So this is a way to allow your Twitch stream to play along with you, which, if people aren't trolling, could lead to some really weird and cool stuff.
A game by community.
Yeah, and they do mention, though, the broadcast mode and play with friends can't be done at the same time. So basically, I can't have like 7 people in my house and then have broadcast mode going on also.
Well, I mean, you could still broadcast it.
If you're in broadcast mode, viewers will vote on the choice in game with the opportunity for the broadcaster to override. Multiplayer will not be available while in broadcast mode.
Yeah, the Quarry kind of works the same way, but its online isn't out yet. It said it will be out within the month.
Okay.
So
I
I'm
mean,
waiting on that.
this looks interesting to me. I like storytelling games.
Yeah.
So I'm going to check this out, and I'm hoping to get a group of folks together who want to play it and just have fun going through it.
Yeah.
And I slowed up a lot here, so we're going to power through some of these things.
Yeah.
I don't remember this game being announced, but there's a game called Naraka Blade Point that comes June 23rd. Originally released last year on PC, now it's coming to Xbox. Obsidian Entertainment's next game is called Pentiment, set in 16th century Bavaria, launches in November. I don't honestly remember.
Bavaria?
If you remember the game Grounded that was discussed last year, that was the game where you basically get shrunk and you're living in your backyard. And
I think I've seen some stuff on
so
that.
Grounded leaves Xbox Game Preview. The official 1.0 version of it drops in September. Supposedly they have 10 million players for Grounded. I don't know if that's 10 million that have played the game or 10 million concurrent sign-ins. I'm assuming it's just who've played the game. They showed off a new class for Diablo 4. Sometime in 2023 it comes out. It'll have cross-play and cross-progression when it's released, Diablo 4.
But what about Diablo Immortal? Don't you have a phone? Shut up.
They didn't talk about that one at all. They announced
Good.
They showed a trailer for Season 7 of Sea of Thieves, and it looked pretty fun. I never got into Sea of Thieves too much, but this one will let you become captains, which includes things like naming your ship, customizing and decorating the ship, things like that.
Wait, you couldn't already do that? I thought that was a whole part of it.
You had a ship you had with multiple people on board, but I guess now you basically have a personalized ship. I don't know enough about Sea of Thieves to tell you a ton about it.
I was thinking that's how it worked already.
They showed off an announcement trailer for Ravenlock, which was an action-packed fairy tale sometime in 2023. Cocoon coming in 2023 from Annapurna Interactive.
Just saw that.
They showed the trailer off for that. Showed a trailer for Wolong Fallen Dynasty. It's by Team Ninja, so it looks like it could be pretty cool.
Oh.
This is one that I thought was interesting. They showed trailers for Persona 3 Portable, Persona 4 Golden, and Persona 5 Royal, all coming to Xbox Series X and Windows PC and Game Pass. Persona 5 Royal hits on October 21st. The other two game announcements did not have release dates on them.
Yeah, those are good RPGs.
Yeah,
turn-based RPG.
The only thing that was not a game that was not going to be coming out in the next 12 months as scheduled now is Hideo Kojima was shown on screen, talked about he's doing a game in collaboration with Xbox Game Studios, and made a point of emphasizing a lot of their cloud features and saying, quote, it's a completely new game, end quote. So I have no idea what Kojima's doing. This has long been rumored that Kojima and Xbox were teaming up to do something, so it'll be interesting.
I don't even know if Kojima knows what Kojima's doing. His mind is all
right.
Did you not see Death Stranding?
And
that fucking name.
That's not a slight on Kojima. Kojima's
no.
And I mean this.
He's eccentric. That's all I'm getting at.
I was gonna say that's the better word. I was gonna say, and I mean this respectfully, he's a weird dude that has crazy ideas, and it translates into some fantastic video game ideas.
Although, man, I want you to go back to just the original Metal Gear Solid when it wasn't like super fucking crazy. It was crazy, but it wasn't super fucking. Or even, did you ever play the Twin Snakes on the GameCube, the remake of Metal Gear Solid on the GameCube?
Yes.
Yeah, that was over the top in such an action movie. It was kind of like how Resident Evil went from 3 to 4 with the over the topness, just like the action over the topness. It was like that, and I loved it.
And then what they ended the show with was about 15 minutes of gameplay and demo of Starfield, which is the Bethesda RPG that's set in space, things like that. It looked really cool. It's going to be super large scale. Let's see. The trailer was presented at native 4K, but there was some issues there. Granted, the game's not out yet, but there was some choppiness and things like that were shown on stream.
Was that an Xbox exclusive, or is that one of the games that was also going to be?
It is Xbox PC exclusive, is my understanding for Starfield.
Because I remember there was a game that Bethesda was working on cross-platform before this, for the whole acquisition thing happened, and I couldn't remember if that was it or not.
I'm trying to find one of the breakdowns that better gets into everything that was shown off on Starfield, because it's massive. Like all the planets There's tons of planets in it. They're all randomly generated other than some of the specific towns and stuff that are supposed to be on there. You can fully build out and customize your ships. You can choose your crew that's on your ships. There's a lot of customizability in this game, and I could see it quickly becoming overwhelming for someone like me when I play these kind of games where I just get overwhelmed by, oh my god, I've got to grind to get this gear, then I've got to build this ingredient, then I've got to recruit this person.
Yeah, it's no mech farmer.
The mech farmer sounds really cool, though. Let's be honest.
It does.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make fun of it, but it felt right to say there.
So I'm on Game Informer's site, and we'll use some of the stuff they're talking about here because they have concerns about the scale, which is similar to what I do. Players can land anywhere on any planet in any solar system of their choice, or as Todd Howard put it, over 100 systems, over 1,000 planets, all open for you to explore.
I want to go to Beetlejuice.
Now, not all of these will have like towns and stuff you can get into. They did also show you can do like space combat and stuff with this too, where you can fly your spaceship against other people and have combat in space and stuff like that. But they did say you would not be able to fly in atmosphere. Pretty much once you get to a planet, you can fly around the planet, fly to other planets, but you mark on a map where you want to land on the planet. They don't want you flying on the planet itself, which would lead to some interesting gameplay dynamics, I imagine, if someone could attack you while you were landing or something like that, because, a spaceship wouldn't quite handle the same in atmosphere as it would in space. It looks really cool. There's just a ton of stuff to do, and I have my concerns as to whether I find that overwhelming or not, for lack of a better term.
I don't know if I'm even interested in this. I'm kind of...
No, it's fair. And
yeah, Bethesda,
we've talked about it before. Bethesda games aren't for everyone either.
Yeah, it's just kind of meh, and they're kind of buggy.
Well, I expect that.
Who's in charge of Bethesda again? Or not Bethesda?
Todd Howard?
Yeah, Todd Howard. Yeah. It just works. Like, no, it doesn't, dude. It's a feature, not a bug. Shut the fuck up, Todd Howard.
Here's how they I got better descriptive on this before we blank right off my story. They say, in the year 2330, the Starfield players are allied with Constellation, which is described as the last group of space explorers who are on a quest to recover lost artifacts of alien origin. The cast comprises a multi-generational, multicultural crew, and the story could also ponder or attempt to prove the existence of true divinity. Regardless, their spaceships, sunsets, helpful robot companions, along with a soundtrack from Einon Zur. In the tradition of other Bethesda RPGs, it will include highly customizable character creation, craftable weapons, weapon modifications, as well as player bases. The highlight of the presentation was the ship customization panel, which includes options for multiple components from multiple manufacturers. Players will be able to fly and fight in their ships from first or third person perspectives.
I hear you say it has customizable characters, but everyone's going to be using default Shepherd, male or female.
Right,
you know that.
But then it's customizable skill sets and stuff like that.
I know, I'm just messing with you.
It is Xbox Game Pass launching on there, as well as Windows PC, my Xbox Series X and S. It looks interesting. It looks gorgeous. It's one of the big games that Microsoft's been touting, so I'm obviously going to try it. But I think I've talked on this stream before. Bethesda RPGs aren't really my jam. So while I'm cautiously optimistic to see what it does, I'm not going to be shocked if I'm someone who starts playing it and gets a few hours into it and it's just like, holy shit, I'm just overwhelmed with what I'm supposed to be doing here.
Yeah, Space Skyrim.
I mean, effectively. So those were the highlights from the Xbox Bethesda game announcement, whatever the hell we want to call it. And I think it's the same problem we have across the board right now, is that there's just not a ton of stuff that people are super excited for, and this is one of those instances. I'm just kind of like, eh.
Oh, I've been meh about Bethesda.
But it's across the board. I don't want to turn this into a console fanboy warism kind of thing. It's more there's just a lull in general in the game industry at the moment, it seems like, as things are getting delayed and pushed off a little bit. And I mean, it is what it is. I'm not gonna.
I mean, the only one I'm sad about is As Dusk Falls.
Mm-hmm.
That's about the only thing I heard from there that I was like, oh. That's about it.
So yeah, that's my recap of it. My rambling, meandering recap. It sounds interesting. I'm going to check some of this stuff out. And if I didn't have Game Pass, I will fully admit some of those games are games where I'd be like, I don't know if I really want to drop the money on that. But since I have Game Pass and it's part of that subscription, I'm more inclined to check out some of these games and try them myself. Like that's how I played Grounded. I saw the preview of Grounded originally, which is the game where you're shrunk down living in the backyard and stuff like that. And you've got to find ways to survive. It's actually really fun, and I think it could be a lot of fun with a group of people. It's just, I was playing it by myself, and that's not as much fun, so I didn't play a ton of it. But I can see where, once you have a community, it would be fun to play this game.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. But that is it for my news. It was long and meandering. I apologize. But I'll toss things over to Mr. Willie D. Nelson. He's got a little bit for us this week, too.
Just a little bit. I'm going to finish off what I started last week, or mentioned in what I'm into. The Quarry. I played through that. I streamed it all last weekend on Friday night, Saturday night, and finally finished off on Sunday night. The main meet was Friday and Saturday, about like 4 hours each. So it's about like a 10-hour game for one playthrough. And I can't wait to play through it again. I'm getting a little sidetracked on other games, but that's coming up in what I'm into. But yeah, the Quarry. I'm also waiting for them to release the online mode of it, like I mentioned earlier with As Dusk Falls. Yeah, it's coming out, like I said, within the month of it being released, so like 2-3 weeks it should. And also the 80s costume pack. Yeah, I'm gonna love that. Having all of them in like an 80s fucking wear, like it's an 80s slasher film. That's gonna be nice and fun. And I think I only mentioned this in the pre-show, not during the show. But yeah, I think I got the worst ending in the game.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I also killed off a lot of people. At the end. I was like, some of the decisions you don't think would kill someone, but they end up killing somebody. Like, no! I think, yeah, I got Ariel Winter killed on Saturday night, and then that was the only death I had. And then everyone else was on Sunday night that I did kill. I think there was some survivors, if you want to call it that. No spoilers. But yeah, some people have endings worse than death.
No, that's bad.
Yeah. So I think I caused that for 2 of them, and then one person's just gonna be in a psych ward for the rest of his life. It seems like the way his thing ended. But yeah, great game. If you like Until Dawn or the Telltale games or the Dark Pictures Anthology games, this is a AAA version of that game. I love all the acting. I love the dialogue in it. It's for me. It's not for everyone, but it is for me. So, man, I can't recommend this highly enough. This is, the only thing I can say I don't even think it's going to beat it, but Midnight Suns might beat it just because I like the deck building aspect of it. But I think this is going to be my game of the year. Until Dawn was my game of the year in 2015.
Strong words.
And I don't foresee any game beating it this year. Definitely not Last of Us Part 1, which barely looks good. Why? You're the new Grand Theft Auto 5. Naughty Dog. Fuck off with these remakes. Make something new. We all want something new from you. Like, I hope you didn't waste a lot of resources making this fucking game. I mean, Last of Us Part 1, I guess that's the new name for it. It is good. It's a good game, but it doesn't need a PS5 version.
How many times have people played through it at this point in time? I mean,
I've technically only played through it the one time on the PS3. I started it on the PS4, but never fully played through it on the PS4 again. Yeah, it's a great game, but come on, it doesn't need to be the new Skyrim.
That's fair. I don't disagree with that. How much of this did you play on Twitch? Because I'd seen you Twitch streaming it from time to time.
The Quarry?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I did the whole game.
Okay.
I did 4 hours Friday night, 4 hours Saturday night, and then the last 2 hours. I thought I was on the last 2 chapters, but no, I was on the last chapter on Sunday night. I was like, okay.
It seems like there's been a lot of people playing it on Twitch, so.
And like I said, I can't wait for the online, because I have at least a couple people that are either already have it or going to be getting it. So I'm looking for that, and I think it's up to 8 people as well doing
cool.
that.
So how many
It's
times?
very similar.
How many times do you think you'll end up replaying it then? Because you said you got one of the bad stories. I assume that there's multiple endings. Are you going to try and get most of them? Or are you just going to keep playing it with people until it's not fun anymore? Or
Well, I definitely want to get more of the story because, like I said, the ending, I think I got a bad one. There's more. I think the ending was going to go in a different way. There's more to it than what I got because I can see where it could have possibly gone and probably where it does go. I could see where it goes because they talk about the Hag of Hackett's Quarry a lot in the game, and I think I missed that ending with the Hag of Hackett's Quarry. Like I made a choice that made it not happen.
okay.
I mean, that's not really a spoiler because they talk about it from the beginning of the game, the Hag of Hackett's Quarry. They make a whole thing where they keep saying the Hag of Hackett's Quarry, the Hag of Hackett's Quarry, and then it's like, can you guys please stop saying the Hag of Hackett's Quarry? Kind of like in a Hot Tub Time Machine. Great White Buffalo.
I enjoyed that movie. I haven't seen it in forever, but I enjoyed it.
The sequel sucks.
I'm not surprised to hear that.
I mean, it's fun, but it's not. The first one was just like so stupid and fun. Like, hey, sometimes you just need some stupid to have a good time, man.
Yeah, it was just stupid fun, and that's the best way of putting it because it wasn't meant to be like some masterpiece or anything like that. It was, hey, let's watch people screw around and get into hilarious hijinks.
Wait, Back to the Future's bullshit? Yeah, it's kind of like I think one of my favorite parts is like when they were pumping him up after he got punched down to the ground, and they're pumping him up, and he's like, yeah, just like that song you like. I forget what Enrique Iglesias, I think it is. Is that the right artist? I think that's his name.
It's been so long since I've seen it. I've only seen it the one time.
Yeah, and he gets up and he starts like, yeah, I can do this in the song. Like, I can be your hero, baby. Yeah, I'm not going to do the whole thing.
Yeah.
But he was like, he goes to slow motion. He's like, "Roar!" And he gets punched right back down. I fucking love it. It's so stupid. Like, the guy's just standing there looking at him as everyone's doing a pep talk. He's like, what are we doing here, man? Like, it's so
Look,
good.
this was in one of those periods where we got a bunch of dumb comedies and we're having fun with that. We don't see dumb comedy. When's the last time a really good dumb comedy came out? They kind of stopped making them because they don't make a ton of money off of it.
There's been a bunch, my man. You gotta be out on the outlook on that. I told you last year about Willy's Wonderland. That's some dumb fun.
I guess.
Wait, I'm sorry. This is gonna be a wild tangent, but is that one of those cups you can't knock over?
No.
Okay, the bottom looked like it had like that same little thing it has.
So the bottom actually has, and for those on stream, it's got two rings on it. It
keeps it warm.
Yeah, it's one of those Ember mugs, and it's got a battery in it.
Yeah, it was one of the two things. One of those mugs that you can knock it in, like you can tap it, hit it pretty hard, it will stay upright.
This was one of my first presents to myself when I got sent to work from home because I don't drink a cup of coffee quickly. I'll drink it over like an hour and a half. So working in my basement where it's cooler in the winter, my coffee would cool off real quick, and I didn't want to just keep it in the insulated mug. So I got one of the Ember mugs, and it keeps it. I think I have this set for 134 degrees. My coffee.
That's one of the reasons why I don't like coffee. It's too hot. I want it to get cooler faster.
But
no. I don't like burning my fucking tongue, man.
Well, I mean, that's the good thing with this is I just hit a button and it tells me what the temperature of it is. Sorry, it's 135 right now.
Coffee. Go. You smug piece of shit. I can see the temperature of my coffee. Yeah, you Mr. 57 MP.
I can also put it on my phone via smartphone app, and it'll send me a notification when it's reached the proper temperature.
I want to punch you in the fucking face right now. Who cares about what temperature is? I don't need to see it. Yeah, it's still hot. That's how you do it.
But then you know the temperature of what you're looking for so that you don't burn yourself. Oh my god.
Or you just don't drink coffee.
I mean, you could do that too if you wanted.
Frappuccino drinks that you get at the gas station. I love those little glasses. Oh, they're so good.
The world is your oyster, man. You can do whatever you want.
Or was it Monster, Mean Bean? I actually like those too. I don't like regular Monster. I don't like energy drinks, but I like the taste of those.
I don't drink a ton of energy drinks, so I did try one of the Rock's Zoa energies. I can't remember the flavor I had. I had two. The one flavor I hated. The one that was like the orangey yellow label was disgusting. I can't remember what that one was.
You just reminded me. I forgot something last week.
Uh-oh.
during the what was it called last week? It was the not the Game Awards, but it was still by Jeff Keighley. It was the Game Showcase.
Game Fest.
No. Game Fest. Yes, that was it. They had like a thing from The Rock who is coming to you live. I don't think it was live
on tape.
yeah. It was him pretty much holding his phone in his gym, is what it was, and I'm
the
not gonna
Iron
lie.
Paradise, as he calls it.
Yes, that was. Yeah, it had a whole sign in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it looked like an awesome place to work out. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, it felt so fucking cheesy and not in a good way cheesy. Just like
Right.
it felt like he was paid to be there. That's what it felt like.
I mean, it's not the first time. Remember, he was there for the premiere of the Xbox original in 2001. It was The Rock and Bill Gates on stage to debut it.
I don't remember that.
Oh yeah.
I think I do remember seeing a picture, but it's like it's been tucked in my memory and kind of eroded.
That's why when they did the announcement for the Series X and S, they actually brought him back, and The Rock was talking, I was here for the first one. I'm sure they paid a pretty penny for that, because I don't imagine The Rock is very cheap to get.
Yeah, I mean, well, back in the original Xbox.
Well, I mean, even then, though, 2001 was near the height of his professional wrestling career, so while it's not on par with what it is
wrestling,
now.
though.
Right, but he had just started crossing over, so he had a lot of appeal, is all I'm saying.
I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about it, but I mean, the top, are you really going to pay a premium to get Roman Reigns on your stage? Are you going to really pay?
But there's a difference. The Rock
I don't
had
know who's on top.
The Rock had crossover appeal that not a lot of other professional wrestlers have had recently. Is more of what we're getting into.
Fair enough.
Hence the reason why he spent more time as an actor now than a professional wrestler.
I mean, does he even wrestle anymore?
He's not retired, but there is a rumor he's going to come back for WrestleMania when it's in Los Angeles.
Sure.
The Rock's also 51 years old, I think, now too.
Fair enough. I mean, he did have the most ostentatious move in ever.
The People's Elbow.
Yes, it was just so much theatrics to it. The whole taking off of the elbow pad, throwing it into the
most
crowd.
Devastating move in all of sports and entertainment.
Was it though? It's just an elbow drop with extra steps. But the extra steps is what made it fun.
Yes.
It didn't make it devastating, it made it fun. And then the boom, boom, that whole thing. It's so good. For those audio listeners, I think I broke my couch.
Oh, crap.
No, I did. I'm just
All right. I guess we just wrapped up the news, though.
Yeah, Quarry, get it. It's fun. It's great.
Listen to Willie's advice.
Dumb. You're fucking dumb.
Well, then,
I hope your balls fall off.
On that note, we're going to start wrapping things up. We have a little.
One second. If you don't got balls, I hope you grow some and then they fall off. Go ahead, Chris.
Thank you, Willie. So we're going to wrap things up with a segment called What I'm Into. It's where we share with you guys watching live or listening later the geeky and nerdy things we've been getting into, because you may want to go check them out yourselves. And hey, getting an endorsement from Willie to play the Quarry might be all it takes. So this is where we share those things and say, hey, here's what I've been doing. So I'm not caught up fully on my TV. Just watched the most recent episode of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Got caught up on The Boys. Boys is delightful this season so far. I love everything about it. Willie, have you been watching The Boys yet?
I agree with the first part of your sentence, or that sentence, but your statement there. I've been slacking on all.
That's fair. That's fair. I get it. I haven't watched Star Trek Strange New Worlds or The Orville yet for this week, and there's something else I was going to watch that I can't remember. So I haven't been getting a ton of stuff done in that regard. I did do a lot of cleanup of my office and slight reorganizing of things, none of which shows up on camera. But like I mentioned in the pre-show, like on the left side of my desk, like I've reorganized and redone everything. I've got a file cabinet underneath here that I stored a bunch of odds and ends that were just stacked up under my desk with. So I've kind of cleaned things up a little bit. It only took 2 years of work from home for me to be like, oh my God, I need to make my working situation a little more tolerable. So yeah, go me. I kind of cleaned things up, made things nicer. I guess this one sort of does show up on camera. There's a little stand over my right shoulder now that has some stuff in it, including one of my old microphones on top and coffee mugs for different podcasts that I've had. Before, there was just blank space there, so I put that stand there, which I'm doubling for storage of podcasting gear and equipment and things like that. Why I mentioned podcasting gear and equipment, though, is I was a guest on Better Podcasting this week. SP has a new sub show, for lack of a better term, he's doing, which is Chats with SP, where it was basically SP asking me questions about podcasting, things I've learned for the last, God, almost 10 years I've been doing it now. It was just kind of a fun back and forth, and SP got me being rather introspective without realizing I was going to be about things I've done in podcasting, and some stuff I've talked about in this show and haven't before, one of which, and I kind of explained better on Better Podcasting, was why I will never do a television show-based podcast again. And that's the truth. I'm just not going to do that because it doesn't work for me. And if you want more information on that, I could explain it now, but you're better off going over to betterpodcasting.com, checking out the most recent episode. It's featuring me. There is also a copy up on the YouTube Gonna Geek channel at youtube.com/Gonna Geek, where you can go and see, I think it's about an hour and 15 minutes of SP and I just kind of chit-chatting about podcasting in general, the different podcasts that I've done, my experience in it, experience with co-hosts and stuff like that. And I do know that SP is looking to talk to other podcasters out there too as part of his conversation series. So if you're interested in that, hit him up on Twitter. I think was he Stargate Pioneer or the Stargate Pioneer? I can never remember. Stargate Pioneer on Twitter, at Stargate Pioneer, if you're interested in being part of his conversation series. I had a lot of fun with it. Thank you, SP, for having me on there. It was kind of fun. And I guess I've never mentioned it to you guys, but you probably won't listen to it. The fact the pandemic happened probably caused this show to stay running.
Oh,
if
I didn't even know that.
I've not talked about it on this show, and I kind of just started talking about it on there and didn't realize it. And just because I was getting overwhelmed with other stuff, and this show kind of became my, hey, I'm guaranteed every week to have an hour to 2 hours to sit down with my buddies and just bullshit and have fun. And I needed that. And it kind of re-energized me on the show. So, spoiler alert. The pandemic saved the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
That's because I don't think I'd talked about it in public, and it just kind of came out in this show. Like I said, there were some bouts of introspection in this conversation with SP that I didn't think were going to happen, but he does a good job of drawing weird threads of conversation out of me. I had fun. And if you're a podcaster, folks, they're listening, he's looking for more folks to interview and chat with about podcasting and how they got into it and lessons they've learned over the years and stuff like that. It's a really cool, interesting series as part of Better Podcasting. While they're on a hiatus for the main show, this is a cool little spin-off to do in the short term. So go check it out. It's really cool. Betterpodcasting.com or youtube.com/Gonna Geek.
Do you know what that reminds me of, though?
What's that, Willie?
I wish I wasn't so new to it at the time when we went to Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
On that panel, I didn't know. I'm just here, man.
But that was perspective, though, that a lot of people could appreciate, though, because the panel we did, for those that aren't aware, was podcasting networks, podcasting, things like that, tips and tricks. And Willie, as someone who was not a regular podcaster until just recently before that.
That was like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, you had a different perspective than some of us that were bitter old jaded people.
Yeah, but I didn't also have a good way of articulating it out because I didn't know what is right to say. So, yeah, that was, yeah, I wish I could go back and do it again and, like, yeah, just be, like, better at it.
Well, there's always an opportunity for us to potentially do it again. Who knows?
Yeah, like, I wish I had a better way of saying, yeah, I just show up every week and I talk.
I mean, you're not wrong, but that's what I've been getting into. Mr. Willie Nelson, what you been getting into, sir?
All right. Oh, so the PlayStation tier thing started Monday, and they made it super easy to upgrade it. They made it really super easy to upgrade it because I think it was only like $28 or something for me to upgrade to the full tier for the rest of my PlayStation Plus subscription. So I was really happy about that. Like, it was just super simple. It just said, here's this low price. Just have an upgrade till your next renewal of PlayStation Plus, and there you go. So I get the top tier for cheap. Well, not really cheap. It's just for cheaper than it would be for the time I would get it. Words, man.
I know what you mean, though. I get the spirit of what you're saying.
like September or November. I can't remember when my PlayStation Plus has to be updated to get or new billing. God, words. Yeah, but yeah. But then after that, to keep up with the top tier, it is 120 for a year.
Gotcha.
And I downloaded a game that I have physically that I couldn't play because my disc drive. You remember what that is, Chris?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes, that's on there. So I downloaded it. I haven't actually started it yet.
I still need
because
to finish
I downloaded. Oh, you son of a! So I got sidetracked with another game, and I still need to finish Yakuza 0. And I'm still in this. I started this game because I thought this was just gonna be a little do nothing game that I could go back and forth on as nothing, but it has sucked all my attention into it. Like I like literally was doing. If I was home this past week, I was playing this game. It just sucked all my attention. Evil Genius 2. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
No, I can't say that I have.
Apparently, it's the first one came out in like 2004. I don't know if the first game was made by the same developers, Rebellion, which I know them most from the Warriors game back on the original Xbox and PS2.
Okay, I know the game you're talking about.
I can't remember what else they made. I know I've seen their name a handful of times. I can't remember where, but I do know they did the, or was that Rockstar? Isn't Rebellion part of Rockstar? Shoot.
I don't know.
God, I can't remember. I think they did the Warriors game. It feels like I remember seeing that splash screen on the PS2 every time I played it. But yeah, Rebellion did it, and it's pretty much you're an evil genius. And it's kind of like kind of like SimCity-ish, but you're not the whole city. You just got your lair, and you're making little things, and you're getting your minions coming in. It's kind of like God. I don't know the way to describe the type of game this is in the right terms. It's like because you're kind of building up your lair, and you have minions that come in. You have to send them on schemes, and you have to defend your lair from secret agents and whatnot. And it's a lot of fun. It's just been sucking up all my fucking thing. I don't even know if I'm even anywhere scratching the surface of this game, and I put in so many hours already.
That's the sign of a good game, though, when you're having fun with it and you have no idea how deep you are into it. Yeah,
but I get these kind of games like City Skylines, which is like it's a similar you're the same UI where you're just the god camera,
sure,
looking around, moving around, and clicking on things to build here, build there, blah blah, do that, do this. It's kind of the same similar idea UI of all that. But it's, of course, a different style of game. And there's a lot of story. There's a story going on, too, a big story. It is very entertaining. The first guy you play as, or I'm not sure, did I even get a choice in the very beginning? I'm not sure. But the first guy I chose would be like what was the Bond villain guy who's the head of Spectre? Blofeld, or Dr. Evil type of guy. It's like that. It's a guy like that. And you also get henchmen like your... You can have up to 5 head henchmen that are like more powerful than like your regular workers and guards and stuff. Okay. And they're like they're named characters and all that. Well, every character has a name. I'm not gonna lie, but these are like specific named characters with a personality and everything, and voice acted too. So you can have them running around too. Pretty much your front is a casino, and then agents will come in and they'll get distracted by your casino, and that takes down their skill level. That lets them get fooled by traps more inside your base. So pretty much you build corridors and you put traps in your corridor, a bunch of wacky zany stuff, and that's part of it. And it's just a lot of fun. Yeah, a lot of wacky zany traps. Like there is a shark pool. Where if a group of inspectors will come over and they walk over it without turning it off, the thing will just open up and they fall in the shark pit and they take damage and they pop back out.
That's cool.
There's a big old Venus, like a Audrey 2 that will eat people. If you don't know what Audrey 2 is, you're dumb. Little Shop of Horrors. It was the big monster alien plant thing. Feed me, Seymour.
I remember that one.
Yeah, Audrey too was its name. Yeah, there's a bunch of different traps. There's a beehive trap that'll send bees out to people.
That's cool.
Flamethrower, lasers. There's a bunch of them. They're all a bunch of fun. There's a big boxing glove that will come out of a wall and just punch them. It's great. It's great. Yeah, so I've been playing a lot of Evil Genius 2 because it was just on that service, and I have not played anything else on the service because of that. I'm like, geez, I want to play Guardians of the Galaxy. Even the thing I got with the disc, it even is on with that too. I already have that saying waiting to install because I haven't even started up Guardians of the Galaxy. I just need to take a break from Evil Genius 2. I just need to stop, take a break. I need to finish Yakuza 0 before getting to any of that, though. But God, I'm so bad at this. Also, this week, I was asked by my buddy to babysit his daughter, which was perfectly fine, except for one night. I didn't even go to sleep one night because, oh my God, I couldn't sleep. Don't know what it was, but I came in, babysat. She's 10 years old, so she's mostly autonomous.
Mm-hmm.
That's a weird thing to say about a little girl, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was a little worried because Wednesday I had to take her to a swim practice thing, and you know how some people see people with little girls like what are you doing? They're like, I'm babysitting. Like, what do we do? When a friend asks you for help, you help them.
Right.
Yeah, but I know I've always heard stories about how people got accosted for even if they just had their daughter with them. Like, they think you're a man, you can't have a little girl with you. Like, it's my daughter. Like, it's not my. That's what I've heard stories about like that, and it's like, man, what is wrong with people? Like, it's good you're looking out, but don't just automatically assume the worst from the get go.
I don't disagree.
I was a little worried about that, but it doesn't happen. It was although I was just sitting there being bored and in the hot sun. I was like, man, and that was the day I didn't get any sleep the night before either.
Oh no!
And I mean 0 sleep. So I'm just sitting there tired as well, just like, all right, it's whatever. Is she not drowning? Good. I mean, she's a swimmer. She knows how to swim. She's in practice. Just making sure, just sitting down, leaning back. Yeah, everything worked out good. Yeah, so that's pretty much. Yeah, that's what I've been getting into. Is there anything else besides Evil Genius? Still playing a lot of Jackbox every now and then on the Twitch. But yeah, I only do that with friend. I have to stream it out to play with friends. But the problem with that is I cannot have my mic going out to the stream because everyone else's mic is also in the party chat. Because we're all in a party chat on PlayStation. So if I do that, then my voice is also coming out in the stream as well as in their ear from the party chat. But it's on a little bit of delay, like 5 to 6 seconds delay. And they're also hearing themselves on a little, even more of a delay now, or probably the same delay. They'll also hear themselves. So I have to turn off all talking. So you're only seeing it. And I also don't let randoms join in. I try and stop that.
No randos allowed.
Because I don't trust you, first of all.
That's
unless
fair.
if it was just me streaming out for people to join in to do that, then yes, I would. I would do that. But when I'm trying to also wrangle all these other people to be in it as well, and it's like it's a little too much to talk because I can't talk with them, have them echo in their ear with my voice, and so it's a little too much. If it was me by myself, I wouldn't mind randoms. But this is for me and my friends. You can fuck right off.
I get it.
I'm
Makes
kidding.
sense.
I was over exaggerating, but you get it. Yeah, Jackbox, so much good fun. And of course, the one rule I have, I've had to kick some people for it. No racial slurs.
That's a good rule to have, and I'm glad
don't
that
get
you
me
have
kicked
it.
off Twitch.
Right?
Yeah, because if I get kicked off Twitch, guess what? No more Jackbox for everyone.
Well, I think they had the same thing they had to mention for they do the AEW Games YouTube channel and Twitch stream, which is AEW wrestlers will host streams and stuff like that. And they were doing Jackbox at one point in time, and the host was like, "Look, guys, we'll play with you, but the first time you guys start messing with this, we're not going to let you get the channel taken down." Yeah,
so you remember when you and Naki and Bachman all joined me like 7 years ago for that?
Now I feel
6
old,
years-
but yes, I remember.
Oh, well, yeah, because that's where yeah, but yeah, that was no, it was 6 years ago. You guys kind of left off before this started happening, but around the hour and a half to 2 hour mark, that's when you get some people just coming in, just saying Hitler stuff or
jeez.
racial slur here, but that's all they say. They just put that one word, and you're like. So you're just an asshole. You're not a clever asshole. You're just an asshole. You're a dumb asshole. A dumb asshole. Oh, that should be a thing. Combine both things. Dumbass and asshole. Just be one word. That'd be great. I'm going to start doing that. Dumb asshole. Doom asshole. There it is. I'm done. I gave you the glory of Doom asshole.
I appreciate it. So before we shut down the stream, we kind of teased at the top of things is right now Bachman's work schedule has him working on Sundays. So in the short term, we are not going to be streaming on Sunday mornings any longer. I think we are targeting Thursday evenings. We have not set up what time that will be. If ideally somewhere between 8 or 8:30 Eastern is when I would prefer to start that so that we're not here all night on a Thursday night. And since it is on a work night, I imagine that we'll probably have to stick a little stricter to not going overly long. But we will continue streaming things. We will make sure that Bachman's included in things. We'll continue trying to bring guest hosts and stuff like that in. But we are not going to be on Sundays in the short term for now. And our schedule may have to be flexible depending on how his schedule adjusts too, because he's been working, from what he said, he's working a lot of afternoons and evenings at the moment. So Wednesdays and Thursdays are his only nights off right now. So in the short term, we'll be moving things to Thursday night, I believe it is. To get the details on what those dates and times are going forward, make sure you're following at ATGN Podcast on Twitter, or follow Willie and myself on our individual Twitter accounts, because we'll make sure the information is up there as well. That's at South Porky and at the Chris Farrell.
You mean the thing I barely use?
You'll retweet if someone tags you.
Fair enough. Oh yeah. Someone, yeah. If you do that work, oh yeah, I got your retweet.
Right.
You do the work for me.
So that is the short-term update on things, because we want to make sure that we've got everyone involved. Long-term, we're not sure what this means scheduling-wise. Just hang in there with us. And on an administrative note, we haven't really had a ton of people joining us Sunday mornings as of late, so maybe this shakeup to Thursday nights on Twitch gets us some new viewers and some new people hanging out in the chat room with us. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I never thought about that. Yeah, that's a good idea.
So we'll see what happens.
Good little byproduct.
Yeah, it's an experiment. So please hang in there with us. If you're someone who just listens to the recordings, the schedule for distribution of the audio and video stuff is going to shift a little bit too, because we're shifting to a different day in the week, so don't be surprised if your podcatcher isn't showing the podcast on the day you expect it to. That's all I was going to bring up there. But on that note, I guess we're ready to shut this thing down and start getting out of here. Willie, before we shut down, do you have any thoughts for the people?
Remember what I said. Balls will fall off if you don't play the Quarry. And if you don't have balls, you'll grow some, and then they will fall off.
Well, you heard it here first from Willie Nelson.
I'm inclusive, baby.
He's inclusive to everyone. On that note, we will see you a week from Thursday. Bye, guys. Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Awful Geek radio app, and over at our network home at gonnageek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast@gonnageek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGN Podcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com.